Now, perhaps some of you had this misguided belief, very misguided belief, that the Bears' season wasn't over after last week's home loss to the Chargers. How many of you are sitting there saying to yourself, hey, 3-4, teams have made the playoffs starting off 3-4. It could happen. The Bears still have a top-level defense. They got to get this right. They won 12 games last year. They got to figure this out, right? Keep telling yourself that. But the reality is staring you smack dab in the face. The season was over last Sunday. And what you saw this Sunday against the Philadelphia Eagles should only cement that in your mind. It's just like trying to talk to people that somehow, some way believe that Mitchell Trubisky isn't a bust. How much more evidence do you need to see? How much more do you have to have it smack you in the face in order to understand that he is shit? This season is shit. And ding dong, dumb dicks, it's over! Now you would think for a team that is 3-4, going on the road to face the team that ultimately benefited from the double boink and eliminated them from the playoffs last year in the Philadelphia Eagles, you would think the Bears would come out of the gates inspired and motivated and playing their tails off. And none of that happened. What you largely saw in the first half was a highly ineffective, inefficient Bears offense that was negative in the yardage category at halftime. Excuse me while I gag myself. And then a Bears defense that, try as they might, wasn't getting the job done either. And then multiple times the Eagles just marched the ball down the field, down their damn throats. And you turn around and look, and the Eagles are up, what, 19-0 at halftime? You let Jordan Howard get a bit of a revenge on you in his revenge game against you. Sure, you contained Alshon Jeffrey, but you let Zach Ertz have a big damn game. And looking at this game at halftime, like I think Dan Orlovsky tweeted it, and it was so appropriate. Does Matt Nagy go back to his quarterback, stick with his quarterback, and as a result potentially lose the team? Or does he sit his quarterback, lose his quarterback, and potentially save his team and keep his team? Well, we all saw the answer, and ultimately, as is so often the case here in 2019, Matt Nagy rolled snake eyes. He wrong! Now, when you look at this game, this was a 3 phases loss. It is easy to just blame Mitch, because he sucks. He didn't even complete 50% of his passes in this game. He was god-awful. What was he in the first half? Like 4 of 7 or 4 of whatever the fuck for 12 damn yards? This dude was a number 2 overall pick in the 2017 draft. And he somehow is worse now than he was as a rookie under Donald Hawkins and John Fox. But it's so often the case, as easy as it is to blame him, because he sucks. His head coach / offensive coordinator / idiotic play caller does him no favors, and Matt Nagy, seriously, this dude was the coach of the year last year. We all now truly understand how much of a fraud that was. The game plan, the design, what the hell is the point? What are you doing? What type of rhythm are you trying to establish? What are you doing? What's your identity? You don't have one! In the first half, I don't even know what the hell you would call that. Nothing different from what we've seen the first freaking 7 games of the damn season. Nothing to mix it up. No gimmicks, no variety, no spice, no anything. Just go out there, first down, second down, third down, punt. First down, second down, third down, punt. Hey, 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 it's the Nagy song. First down, second down, third down, punt. First down, second down, third down, punt. And that's basically all the hell it was in the first half. Wouldn't you know in the second half, when you try to get the ball in David Montgomery's hands, some actually decent things happen. And even what's so bad about this is you look at when even Trubisky made good plays. Taylor Gabriel was wide freaking open down the field. And even Trubisky hit him with an off-the-mark throw that if he hits him in stride, it's an easy touchdown. Instead, Gabriel has to slow down to catch it because Trubisky sucks. And then you look at the other big play that he had to David Montgomery. Montgomery over the middle of the field, wide freaking open. And as the Trubisky stands will say, he was dropping dimes. Well, FDR don't want nothing to do with you because them dimes are just pennies in disguise. Even David Montgomery, wide freaking open. It's settle the hell down and put the throw on the money. And instead, David Montgomery has to adjust and catch it behind him. The fact that the Bears even got back into this game was a fluke. The fact that the Bears made the Eagles secondary in the first half look stellar is an abomination. But the performance we saw out of that Eagles defense in the second half was also an abomination and a joke. How the hell do you let the Bears even get back into this game? You let Trubisky do anything at all on you? The hell is wrong with you? And of course, when we talk about the total 3 phases loss here, you look specifically at the defense. And you can make the excuses for the defense, saying, well, the offense doesn't do shit. They're on the field all the time. No, you know what? Screw that. Bottom line is, get the damn job done. You've invested a lot on that side of the ball. These are the types of games that they're supposed to step up and dominate, and yet again, they fail to do so. Tired of people making excuses for the poor play and stretches of this defense this year. This felt eerily reminiscent to the damn Raiders game in London. And then, of course, when the Bears somehow magically have gotten themselves into a position where if they get a big defensive stop, they have plenty of time. For God's sakes, they might be able to win this game on the road that they have absolutely no business doing. Here's the Bears defense getting their shit pushed in for 7 or 8 minutes late in the fourth quarter as the Eagles run down the damn clock. And that third phase, special teams, how about at the end of the game? Eagles up 22-14. You get the ball back, who knows what could happen? But of course, the Eagles kick it off short and form a second-round pick, and now also bust for sure. Adam Shaheen sits there and he muffs the damn recovery. He muffs the kickoff. Eagles recover. Game over. So the Chicago Bears, who were once 3-1, have now lost 4 games in a row. How much more must you see, Nagy, out of Trubisky to realize he ain't that dude, and he's not your dude. And that doesn't mean that Chase Daniel is a whole lot better, I'll grant you that. But at some point in time, you're going to lose that entire team, that freaking locker room, if you allow your quarterback, your 5th-rate quarterback, to continue to go out there and stink to join up. Why in the hell would anybody else feel the pressure or need to perform at a high level? Because if the quarterback, the guy at the most important position on the field, can't play worth a crap, and yet you continue to keep him in, why would anybody else be bothered to care? 3-5. Again, I emphasize, if you didn't think this season was over last week, which for unbeknownst reasons to me, there were people that still thought the Bears had a chance, what do you got to say now? The way this crap is headed, this team might not win another damn game this year. And if you're a Raiders fan right now, you got to be living it up. And you know what? Frankly, coming from a Bears fan, you should live it up. As myself and many others talked all types of trash about you last year. And last year, the Khalil Mack trade looked really, really good. And now, 1 year late, how quickly the tables turned in the National Football League. Your team is thinking about the playoffs. Our team is thinking about what the fuck you're going to do at quarterback in 2020 because Trubisky clearly isn't the guy. You're giving us our receipts and we deserve them. If you have any hope or aspirations to want to try to do something this season, then you cannot trot out Trubisky for another start. He is garbage. He plays scared, and once a quarterback has no confidence, he has no shot, and your team has no shot. The Bears must realize just how bad this guy is. And I think Nagy does, but I also think he's not willing to totally admit it. Sometimes plans go awry, and they don't go the way you want them to go. And sometimes you've got to adjust, and you got to make do with what you got and make the best out of that situation. And Nagy's not even doing that. And when you think about this game and you think about this team, like if you start to really break this down, like this is a house of cards that is crumbling down quickly. Trubisky, the number 2 overall pick in 2017, that was taken ahead of Mahomes and Watson, that the Bears traded up and gave up multiple picks to move up from 3 to 2 to get, is a bust. 2016 first-round pick Leonard Floyd has been a disappointment. 2015 first-round pick Kevin White was a bust. And when you look at this 2017 draft class especially, where's the impact? Trubisky, bust. Second-round pick Adam Shaheen, bust. Fourth-round pick Tariq Cohen. Where the hell's he been this year? He's been shit by comparison to 2018 and 2017. And Eddie Jackson, you can say the same damn thing. Hello, you're supposed to be all pro. Where the hell are you? They're getting absolutely nothing out of the 2017 draft class right now. The 2016 draft class, the first-round pick, has been at least a mild disappointment to a somewhat significant disappointment. And they got nothing out of that first-round pick in 2015. So when you look at this Bears team right now, your quarterback of the future is your quarterback no longer. Your head coach, who was the coach of the year last year, is being exposed for the fraud that he is. And your general manager, this guru, this mastermind, you're starting to see how quickly his drafts are falling apart and his roster construction is falling apart too. This continues. Massive wholesale changes need to happen in this Bears organization this offseason. That's quarterback's got to be gone, the head coach has got to be gone, and the general manager's got to be gone. Because you took a team that was 12-4, won the division, and made the playoffs last year, and turned them into this! And it all starts with picking the wrong quarterback. That's on Ryan Pace. That quarterback sucking, that's on Trubisky. And in part, that's on the head coach, who was also hired by Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy. Get rid of them all! Because this season is toast.